Oh God.
I wonder, does anybody know just who I am? Nobody knows just who I am.
So we're live. Finally. I said 10:30. I was late. I was gonna have to deal with it. You feel me?
Is there anyone who's got my back for real?
All right. Yeah. Yes, Sirski. I'm right here with it, man. I'm right here with it. Leave it to me. Everybody just leave it to me, man. I think I should start with the fun, to be honest. Yeah. Let's get it.
Does it feel good?
Leave it to me.
Yeah.
S.Ville to the moon, making moves like a movie script. Destiny written is what we do. Yo, S.Ville to the moon, making moves like a movie script. Destiny written is what we do. Sustv, Ville, Sustv, Ville, Sustv, Ville,
Okay, hey, look. To this Sustv, subscribe, hit it, we hit the bell so the you. Man, I forget my words. Shoot past the mills, we are the Ville. Grind to the end, you already know it's on our heels. Ain't sus without us, but Smooth standing still. Anyway, hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back, give it up for yourselves, give it up for me, give it up for God, man, give it up for music, give it up for the world still being intact and everything like that, you know what I'm saying? Give it up for everything, you know what I'm saying? Give it up for everything, man. Good to be here, man. Welcome back to the Striving Upon Success Podcast, aka Sustv. I'm your host, Susmoves. That's This me. is season 4. Indeed. Let's go, man. Okay, so as you guys can see, I am blind, but you might have known that already. But you know, it wasn't really portrayed that much in the other pods because I had contacts in. Sorry about that. Ran out of my contacts, so I'm just using my glasses in the spare time. But I will be going back to contacts obviously as soon as I re-up. And yeah, I'm experimenting with a couple of different options to get into that. All right, that's enough about that. Getting right into it, man. This Drake album, everyone's already talked about it. Everyone's already speculated and said what they had to say about it. I think it was a pretty solid album. I'm not here to really, come at the guy and, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah, start shooting up the album and everything like that. I'm here to just get right into it, man.
Moves.
You know what I'm saying? Give y'all what it is. The album was pretty good. I would give it a 1 out of 10. I give it a 7, a strong 7. I'm not comparing it to other Drake projects. I'm not comparing it to, I think that's where he's at right now. And sonically and everything like that, it sounds pretty good. I don't think it sounds like it wasn't a lyrical album. It definitely wasn't. The best verse on his album was J. Cole's verse. Yeah, J. Cole had the best verse on Drake's album. It's not really a big insult saying that. I mean, they're the top 3. It looked like Drake was really... There's bars on there, but it wasn't like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like Churchill Down. It wasn't like, a few of the verses that we remember from Scorpion. It wasn't back-to-back Meek Mill. It wasn't Daytona, him and Pusha T going at it. It was just cool. It was calm. It was for the kids, is what people are saying. I think it ranges. I think, I'm 27. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Damn. Yeah, no. And I enjoyed it. I think people in the 30 bracket would enjoy it. People in the 40 bracket and the 50, mainly 40, rap is only 50 years old anyway, and whatever the case may be. So that 40-ish bracket has some problems with him, specifically Joe Budden, stating that, it sounds like he's making it for the kids because it has a lot of sounds that are, of the time, which is what Drake is known for. Again, we're looking for at least 1 or 2 projects where he goes lyrical and does his Drake stuff. You know what I'm saying? His Drake stuff being, you know what I mean, that 4 p.m. in Calabasas and all that kind of stuff, what Drake is famous for. He didn't really give us that on this project, and that's, totally cool. I'm not here to go on a whole monologue about it. I give it a 7 out of 10. I think Joe, if you look at what Joe was saying with him saying it sounds for the kids, I think he has a point. I think Drake has a right to return fire because, I mean, Joe Budden has an audience, so people are going to run with that. Other people start to make their own opinions based off of that, and they're running with the whole, he's just not barring it up or whatever the case may be and not putting forth his next, show us the next elevation. You made it for all the dogs and, it's got a lot of R&B in there and things like that, but you named it for all the dogs. So we're looking for the rap. We're looking for the hard hitting. We're looking for even some Drake 21 Savage-esque, Her Loss-esque type of passion and that tough aspect to your abilities that we didn't get to really see on the project, but it was still a solid project, all things considered. Everyone has a side. Choose your own side. This is my side. I think it's a 7 out of 10. I'm not really critiquing it too tough. There's definitely some re-listens for me. I'm satisfied. Just off of that little three song build up that he had with the J. Cole record. That was enough for me. It would have been great if he fed his fans who were looking for the tea and the bars and everything like that. He took a few shots, of course, like he's Drake. He's always gonna do that, but nothing spectacular. Nothing to really go wow about. You know what I mean? To keep talking about it. So he's gonna get clowned for a little bit. Then people are gonna let it rock, and he dropped CLB, and that was a very experimental project in my opinion, and a lot of people liked a lot of CLB, and he did have some records on there where he went to that level that I guess we were looking for, and even higher for this project, the anticipation wise. Moving right along, that was going on in the media world. He did shout out to the streamers during the album, and that shout out was definitely guided, like a guided missile towards Kai Cenat, who he's been buddying up with and had that bar about streamers in the same J. Cole featured song for the first person shooter. So that was dope. Big supporter of Kai Cenat here. I'm glad to see him getting that shine. Joe Budden had a few words for Kai as well. It's he's not really trying to come at him in a super offensive way and stuff like that. He just means they're there in their regard and I'm here in my regard, and I wish that not to rehash. But yeah, shout out to Kai, man. Kai had a few words for Joe, yo, bro, stop saying negative things about me. But that's what Joe does. That's what Joe's gonna do. He's talking about you, so that's enough. You know what I mean? If he's talking about you, it means that you've hit the airwaves enough that you even translated from your own audience to an audience that doesn't naturally listen to what you got going on, because he's not going to be involved in the Uzi Vert stuff. He's not going to be involved in what the kids are doing, streaming, all this different stuff. So if he hears about your name, just take it as a good thing and just keep moving forward, bro. Just keep doing just keep doing your positivity-based content and your positive vibes, and keep don't let that, dull your aura. And, just keep on praying and thanking God for the situation that you're in, honestly. I mean, your family's good, your friends are straight for the most part. You know what I mean? What is there to talk about? You know what I mean? Yeah. That was it as far as the media drama, or whatever the case may be, media drama, media tea, as they call it. Getting right into it, you know what I'm saying? I can never tell if I'm loud enough. In this microphone for everybody. Oh, it looks like I'm so accustomed to not being that clear. Wow. There's a big difference between me over here and I'm like, yeah, guys, and you hear that little reverb-ish, backlash, whatever the case may be, versus me, right here. You know what I mean? I'm right in your ear. You know what I mean? Like zzz, you know what I'm saying? Sorry. Not to get to the controversial stuff. You're not really going to see my face, just so that you guys can really hear me. There's a lot going on in the world. The Ukraine, war versus Russia is still ongoing. Still many casualties, still a very scary situation. And it's caused a lot of it's caused a lot of turmoil, like I was mentioning in a couple of the pods ago. New pod will drop, by the way. I'm aware that it hasn't dropped yet. I'm filming this while that has not been dropped yet, due to various things, but it will be dropped this same week, and then this pod now will be dropped obviously later. So with that being said, one more time, welcome back to the Striving Upon Success podcast, aka Sustv. I'm your host, Susmoves. This is season 4. Let's go, man. I believe this is episode 29. I think so, but don't quote me on that. You guys will see what episode it is when it drops, in the right order, because I'm not doing that again. But yeah, Ukraine war still ongoing, many casualties. I don't have too many details on that, but I just know that it's affecting here in hometown in USA, where the government has been debating whether they wanted to help out more, and they ended up doing like a push-pull. I'm not sure if I mentioned in the last pod that they did a split where they were able to give relief for people here while still giving relief in a way for people over there. But then that spilled over because there were attacks coming from Israel. Well, not really attacks. They were like at first, but they were like sanctions and different things going on because it's still high pressure and high tension historically among Israel and Palestine. It ended up getting into a situation where Hamas, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, attacked Israel in retaliation, so they say. And there may or may not be some involvement with Iran, who we just recently lifted some sanctions on their money for prisoners that they held, what we believe unconstitutionally, etc. They were imprisoned wrongfully, so we wanted to a prisoner back, and we gave them $6 million. And there was another sanction we were going to lift, something around like $6 billion. That's a big deal, but $6 billion for another 5 people. 5 people, $6 billion. I don't know the math. These are still human lives at the end of the day. Hey, you know what I'm saying? But around that time, then there's talks of Iran being involved with Hamas, organizing, and that's what caused a well-organized attack on Israel, because Israel is known to be one of the power structures in the world that is very up-to-date, CIA trained, and they should have seen this coming. So the question is, how didn't they? And there's many different talks going on. I mean, we went and we left a whole bunch of military weaponry in Iran and pulled out of there. Was that a move on purpose or not? Who knows? There's just so much going on, but a lot of people are really nervous now because we have the Ukraine war going on with Russia. There's many talks that aren't being spoken about around the world, whether it's the BRICS nations with China. Well, that's being spoken about with China and Africa and other countries. Saudi Arabia splitting from U.S. to create this new economy thing. China's crashing economically. We have many different many conflicts with like Egypt and things like in Ethiopia, things like that you wouldn't really be aware of. I'm sure there's other mini wars going on, like several different wars going on. I don't know them all by heart. And now we have these more bigger subjects, just bigger in the realm that they are in the news. That we have the Ukraine war, and now we have Israel versus Palestine. U.S. is getting dragged into it. There's already tension there with Russia, everything like that. So everyone is very nervous that World War III is on our doorstep. You know what I mean? And with all of this going on, it's that we are involved in but aren't involved in, whatever the case may be. It's a very sticky situation. With all of that going on, then we have more refugees of war that we're calling migrants coming into the country, and then that's causing more problems. We already have many different protests for housing being too difficult, it's being too high. You know what I mean? It's hard to live here, and now it's becoming hard to get jobs. The migrants are surpassing people who have taken tests and exams and been trying to get into certain jobs for years and years and years, and they've just been given away. They're trying to create more jobs, but at the same time not make migrants qualified for those said jobs. There's just a lot of tension in the country when it comes to the refugees who are coming here, along with the war is ongoing. with potential World War III in talks, and then we have civil unrest with these different protests when it comes to the migrants, when it comes to the job situation, when it comes to the homeless situation, when it comes to because they're making it hard for the homeless as well, because migrants are being moved into different hotels and things like that, especially here in New York. So it's making it very difficult for our homeless people who are already struggling in shelters, and of course, rising taxes, rising costs of apartments and homes and things like that. So it's just making it increasingly difficult to catch yourself here in this country. With China's fall, that's gonna have some bruises on our economy as well. We don't want China to fall necessarily. They apparently are in something around $50 trillion in debt. The U.S. debt is around half that, like 25 trillion, give or take. It's all just number games and tactics, and trying to make the U.S. look strong again, start talking again. But China is in trouble. But China is in a heap of trouble economically. They're comparing it to Japan, when Japan had increasing economic problems. So that's what's going on in the world today. Did I miss anything is the question. I was able to kind of spin everything together. Right, Texas. Texas is currently building a wall to try to keep more migrants out. There are thousands pouring in. They do have a system that the government has created to allow migrants to come in the country, because we feel for their situation and things like that. What else do we have here? That was the last piece that I did not throw in there. I do want to listen to just part of this clip that I was looking at to try to gain more understanding on our current situation when it comes to Israel and Palestine, because it is such a pressing situation. Israel has declared war. I think I was the only one able to hear any of that. So let me just try to play it from over here, actually. Sorry about that. Technology, man, it's just a very difficult thing to manage. So let's go ahead and try to listen to this. Here we go.
TV without seeing news about Hamas, Israel, all the tragic. Some of you have seen the video with the father walking around with his daughter in Palestine, and all the stuff that's going on in Israel, and so many questions coming up. It was like, hey,
not better like the world is better, better like you can hear what he's talking about, how the world is on fire right now. You didn't need that explanation, but here we go.
Israel, some say the greatest air force in the world. How did you not know this was taking place? Don't you have the best intelligence in the world, Mossad? You mean to tell me for 1 year, Hamas built a city identical to the one that you have to prepare and train on how to attack, but you didn't know that this was taking place? And why is Iran involved in this right after the U.S. unfreezes $6 billion, and then Iran's going out there chanting Magbat Amrika, Magbat Amrika? And then history-wise, who owned this land before? What happened pre-1948? Did Palestine own the land? And who owned it before Palestine owned the land? And are all Palestinians supporting of Hamas? Does Fatah support Hamas? Again, so many questions. We went out there and did research, sources, everybody on what's going on. Our team put a lot of time behind this. And we're going to talk a lot about this here today. And
I'm not going to play, again, I'm not going to play too much of it. I'm just gonna actually skip in the middle somewhere over here, and I'm just gonna play just a little bit of information, and then you guys can go ahead and find this same video if you want to educate yourselves. I have no problem promoting other YouTubers. This is Israel versus Palestine. Did World War III just begin? Everything you need to know, and this is from Valuetainment, with 4.91 million subscribers. So it's definitely well accredited. Well, I don't know if it's well accredited, but they do seem thorough, and they do seem to have a big audience. So you guys can go ahead and tune in with that. Let's go ahead and play this video.
the enclave. So the one chart that's being shared all over the place on social media is this one here, the historical context of the Israeli-Palestine conflict. The red represents how many Palestinians have been killed in conflict-related deaths, and then the purple is Israel. Obviously, if you go back to 2008, look at the red versus purple, then 2009, and it continues and go to 2014, where this was a 50-day war in 2014 sparked by the kidnapping of 3 Israeli teenagers, ended in the deaths of 73 Israelis and more than 2,000 Palestinians, most of them civilians, for Israel seeking vengeance. And then today, more people in Israel have died in this conflict than in any year in decades. And these numbers are just starting to grow. Potentially, within a week, if this thing continues, both the purple and the red could cross what the numbers were in 2014. Meaning, what this really shows, there is no peace. They're having a hard time coexisting. And it doesn't show things are getting better. It actually shows things are getting worse based on this chart. So the uniqueness of this attack, here's what an article in New York Times says. It says, the issue came after months of profound anxiety about the cohesion of Israeli society and the readiness of its military, a crisis prompted by the far right, keyword, far right, New York Times says, far right government's effort to reduce the judiciary's power. And the New York Times article continues, the attacks also came on the holiday of the Simchat Torah and nearly 50 years to the day since the Israeli authorities were caught off guard when invading forces from Egypt and Syria set off the start of the Yom Kippur War. The part that got interesting is when all of
All right. So that's just a little bit of facts about what's going on, or at least what you can take as fact from Valuetainment, the YouTube account over there. I'm not sure who the gentleman. I've seen his face before, but I'm not sure about what his name is. But I looked at that entire video, as well as, of course, just looking in the news like everybody else. Doing what research? What fly just rolled up on me like that, bro? Anyway, I'm sorry about that for your ears, listeners. But yeah, that's just a little bit of research about what's been going on in the world, man. Everybody getting attacked out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting attacked. You getting attacked. Everybody getting attacked. Not to take away from the serious moment, because a lot of people have lost their lives. I do want to just, Jesus is good. Goofy me, bro. I didn't even think to bring the mic a little. Pause. Wait. Hold on.
Thank you for tuning in.
No, not you.
Pause.
Yeah, man. I didn't even think to put the mic a little bit closer to me. Pause. Too close to my Oh, yeah. A little closer to me, bro. So, yeah, that's definitely way better. You guys can definitely hear me articulate a lot better. Yeah, this is where it needed to be. See, I'm at a distance. You can see my face, but you can still hear me. So sorry about that. Too many things going on at once. Glad that you guys can hear me a little bit better with the microphone. My bad that I just clapped my machinery and clapped your ear. Pause. And your ears, because I blew in the look. Your pause, all right? I blew into the microphone. Y'all heard what I did. Whatever. Back to the story at hand. I do want to take on a serious note. I do want to take a little bit of time for a moment of silence for just all of the casualties out there. Worldwide, we have a lot of wars going on. We have a lot of different people in different spaces being affected, from our law enforcement to our military and to different attributes in the government who are trying to figure out this whole thing worldwide. And we lost a lot of people. There are a lot of family members, a lot of mothers, fathers, children, grandparents that have been lost, relatives, friends, loved ones that have been lost, lives that are just needlessly been decimated. And I want to just take a second and have a moment of silence for those people. Thank you. I don't plan to, always take a moment of silence every pod. It's just that, a lot of serious stuff goes on in the world on a regular basis, and a lot of lives are taken, and I'm grateful for mine. I'm grateful for the peace that I'm in, while I can say that there's peace in mine. You know what I mean? I don't take it for granted, not a moment. Well, I won't say that, but I definitely am more conscious about just the blessings that have been given to me, and the peace that I have to be able to just be here filming and giving you guys the information and being able to pod, and you know what I mean? Just the joys in my life and the peace that's in my life, and the amount of people that would do anything to switch with me. And many of you viewers, I'm sure. So just try to remember to stay grateful, because it could be a lot worse. And if you don't believe me, just turn the TV on, Google it, look it up on TikTok, do what you got to do. But it's out there. A lot of people's lives and a lot of precarious situations, to say the least. For a lack of a better term, faced with. I've said a lot of ums this pod, and I don't really like that. But that aside, I feel like I really I just blazed through a lot of the different topics that we were faced with throughout the world. I feel like I just kind of scanned through it, but it felt good, and apparently we still are getting to about the same amount of we're getting to the same amount of time that we're getting the same amount of time regardless. So that being said, this is the portion of the pod where I get into things about me. So a little bit about me. Right now, I've been going through a lot of different introspective conversations with myself, and just looking at life and looking how time has flown for me. I would say from the time that I graduated high school to now, and just all the different things that have happened in my life, all the different people that I've met, and all the different experiences I was able to gain, as well as, the education that I was able to seek and store and utilize. And what a life. You know what I mean? I hope that you guys out there are kind of able to look back at everything and all these crazy moments. I'm sure there's a lot of people, because I see on my Facebook and different things, there's people who have started their own families already. There are people who are single and just doing their own thing. There are people who have, joined like the military and lived the world of experiences. There are people who are currently traveling the world. There are people who just, are just trying to find their way. And, everyone is on one side or somewhere far in between. And it just hits different when you're able to just kind of look back at just everything and how you thought in the past to where you are now and everything like that. And I've been doing a little bit of that today. And of course, there's bittersweet moments where you have some losses and things like that, and in every aspect of the word loss. But you face a lot of losses, and you learn from them, of course. But it still kind of affects you in certain ways. But there's been a hell of a lot of wins. There's been a lot of learning, a lot of maturing, a lot of changes to just your approach on life. Hopefully you can say that, looking back the last 5 years, 10 years, hopefully you're still in contact with all of the good people that were doing a lot of good for you in your life and things like that. And that's just where I've been at. One thing that I've been just reiterating to myself is just, take it one step at a time, because that's all we can really do at the end of the day. All you can really do is just take things one step at a time, quite literally. You know what I mean? Like, you only have 2 arms and 2 legs, and you're in the situation you're in because of those 2 arms and 2 legs and the movements you've been making. So, for example, you wake up in the morning, and what's the first thing that you do? That is your first exact step, and that's what my introspection has just been based around, and that is something that I'm kind of holding, you know what I mean, with a magnifying glass, and just trying to and just trying to embrace that. You know, you wake up, you go hopefully take a shower, brush your teeth, and then you get started with your day, whatever that may entail, whether it's leaving out to go to work, maybe it's your day off and you're leading out to pursue taking care of the people that you love, or pursuing a hobby that you enjoy, or pursuing a side hustle, or doing some research to educate yourself further, or moving ahead in some sort of way. Every day you can do something that is progressive in some form or fashion to some percentage. You know what I mean? You just gotta decide, to wake up and to go at it, and come after the day with some sort of plan. So I didn't really have too much on me today, or on the life experience-esque journey. I'm gonna be ending this very soon right now, but that was just some of the things that I was thinking about, and I just wanted to put it out there in the universe in case anyone else needed to hear some of that and maybe take that information and run with it. Maybe you guys take it somewhere deeper. Definitely comment below if any of what I just said meant anything. I know I didn't get into a moral compass or anything like that, or like leave you with a lesson really, but it's just like I can't really leave you with a lesson, because whatever lessons it is that I took from whatever it was that I was contemplating, it was meant for me. It wasn't meant for you. So all I can really do is just guide you towards just saying, hey, what have you been doing with the past 10 years of your life, the past 5 years of your life, the past 3 years of your life? And just look at how you've matured, how you've changed, how you've taken losses, how you've taken wins, how did you handle both situations, where you are now, where you're trying to go. But then it's good to have the goal to focus on where you're trying to go. It's good to have goals, you know what I mean? Structure your life around goals. But every day, live your life to say, what is next? You know what I mean? Maybe it might be changing a diaper. Maybe it might be taking the car and go get it tuned up. Maybe it might be going to the gym. It might be saving this money, because you have some plans to do with this money. So you're on your way to work, or you're on your way to the bank, and you got to organize. Just take things literally one step at a time. Try to be as present as you can in that moment, and then just take it from there. So that's how I was able to tie in a little lesson into what I've been going through, what I've been thinking about. Thank you guys for viewing this pod. Again, it's just just a quick synopsis on what's been going on. For more of me and the introspective and like the aliens, and me rambling on, like how it could have been towards the end there where I was mentioning some personal things. That's gonna definitely be on the more on the open stimuli episodes. So tune in for that. I'm trying to get that situated and structured. I'm definitely hoping to have that down by next week. My goal right now is to just get this next pod up before this week is over. So that's literally exactly what I've been saying this whole time, is just taking things one pod at a time. So with that, I leave you guys, man. Just take things one step at a time. Let's go ahead and
welcome back to the Striving Upon Success Podcast.
Oh, not that one.
Moves.
Almost.
Thank you for tuning in.
There we go.
Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
Indeed.
This is Sustv. I'm your host, Susmoves, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you.
Does it feel good?
Indeed. Like, share, subscribe. Please share this with everybody. Let's get this popping. Again, I know you want jokes and the entertainment. It's gonna come. Give me time. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a little bit of time, and I'm gonna get it together. You feel me? We're gonna get there.
Move. Hey. Look. Sustv.
Indeed.
Hit it, wheel it, give and hit the bell. So the new vids don't stop, get it, know the deal. We the bill, run up the M's, Shoot past the mills with all the team promoting how to heal. Grind like the ant, you already know it's on our heels. Ain't sus without us, but move standing still. Ayy, give love to real ones, respect mutual. Ayy, been with time, been advised. Got too much plague in my mind with the games that we loot is built by design. Would I really make it out with a slick little line? Look at the sky and ask for a sign. Real in the green like I take care of vines. Get this energy from my mind. Get the willpower from the God. Ayy, sus, T-O-V, Ville. Okay. S.Ville to the moon, making moves like a movie script. Destiny written is what we do.
Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. This is Sustv. I'm your host, Susmoves, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Indeed.